Right, Matthew. So, um, when observing, right, we noticed that you had a problem with negative self-talk. You know what negative
Mm-hmm.
self-talk is?
Well, I would like to think is how I would let down myself in doing something that kind of way.
I think you have the gist. Negative self-talk is the opposite of pep talk, basically. So pep talk
Mm.
with yourself, you hype up yourself, you encourage yourself, you push yourself, you tell yourself certain things that would have a positive impact on how you look at stuff. Negative self-talk
Mm.
is the opposite of that, right? So
Yeah.
you notice sometimes you will tell yourself that you mightn't be as fast as your other teammates, or you mightn't be as strong, or you
Mm.
might have a weak area, and then you notice that you mightn't do it properly. So we just want to let you know that there's something that we notice, and we want to help
How
you.
to work on.
Yeah.
All right. All
Um,
right.
so to do this, we have 5 steps. Well, 4 steps. That should help you. It should help you cope with it. It should help you deal with it, and it should help you stop the negative self-talk. You know.
Mm.
So the first thing we want to do is look at your the other things around sports. So your coaches, your teammates. You want to
Yeah.
look at the influences, or what influence they have on you. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with your coach.
Well, with the coach, I would say is very good. I like the relationship. I mean, you have a fallout something,
Mm,
but on a whole, he's there. I mean, when you need him, you understand. And even if he's not there, he's still there, right?
okay.
So I would say
So,
relationship between the coaches with
so you
there.
have a good relationship with him. And what about your
Yeah.
teammates?
Um, Teammates. That is where everything is good on training. I would say relationship with them nice, sweet, no hiccups. I mean, you have fallouts and
Mhm.
thing as usual, but yeah,
All right. So we noticed so far that you have a good relationship. Well, fairly well relationship with your coach and
mm,
teammates. So what about your
mm-hmm.
parents or siblings? What part or what role do they play in your career right now? How do they support you, if they support you at all?
Well, for me, support is plenty.
Mm,
I would say I'm getting support from my parents, but
mm.
it's not as what I would like to.
No, it's not what.
Um,
Go ahead.
what was now is not what I would feel as enough as
So
an athlete.
you think that your parents or siblings could support you more?
Yeah,
Why I
yeah,
say that?
saying that.
They don't come to your games, or they don't ask about training, or they don't help financially. Why is, like, how would you want them to support more?
Financially is not really a problem. It's more being being physically there.
Mm,
Yeah, so watching in games, um, sometimes may come training, whatever the case may be. But
yeah.
it's,
And
it's just being there.
you think that would help with your performance? Like, you think that is what is needed and vital for an athlete to do well? You think that kind of support is needed?
Yeah, I think that support is needed. That is the key to all those.
All
It's a
right.
master key.
And what about your friends, like your school friends or friends from church? Like how do they support, if they support at all? And do you think having that support system or that support base, you think that would influence your performance as well?
Well, I didn't really have much friends, but
Uh, uh, uh,
but the little support that has come all the way,
all right, so yeah. Mhm.
it's a impact. Yeah, it's have an impact on the performance and a little pep, a little gas up, as they would say. But yeah,
All right, so far we identify that it's really your parents. You look forward to having that support from them.
mm-hmm.
You want
Yeah.
to be there and stuff. Right. Um. Well, we could work on that. Um. So we want to look at your past, right? Um.
Mm.
With how to put it? Have you experienced any injuries? Serious injuries, major injuries?
Serious injuries compared to other people or just to me alone?
Right. So I know that you have experienced injuries, right? Would you say the injuries major injuries, or how would the injuries? What would you label the injuries at?
I didn't get that.
You didn't get injuries?
No, I didn't get the question.
Oh, okay. So did you have major injuries, or you know small injuries? Injuries that
I,
kind of took you off the year, or
oh, well, I wouldn't. It wasn't that severe where it took me the whole year, but it has created a setback. So half half. I would say half half.
all right.
Yeah,
Um,
half half.
what about, like, you know, have the goals that you set out for yourself? Were there
Mm.
any instances where you may have set a goal for yourself and you repeatedly just wasn't reaching your goal? So you have a particular goal in mind, you set out the goal. So let's say you want to PB, or you want to reach a certain PB, and for whatever reason you're training hard, then you're
Mm.
eating right, you're sleeping right, doing the right things, doing all the right things that will add up to you accomplishing a certain goal, and for whatever reason you just never accomplish your goal. You ever experience that?
Shut up. Too many times. It's frustrating.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
I
know,
have
that can be fun.
experienced that.
Um, okay, and well, I know you say it's frustrating, but
Mm.
how when that happens to you, how would you say you deal with it? Like, what is your coping mechanisms? You
Well,
know that in itself could influence negative self-talk, because you know to yourself that you're working hard, you're
mm.
eating right, you're sleeping on time, you know, you're doing what you coach you to do, and yet still you're not achieving the results that you want. And as I say, it's frustrating. So how you feel you deal with it?
Well, how I deal with it,
And be
well,
honest.
first, I ponder on, I try to coach through the race or the event in my head, thinking what I did wrong or what I didn't execute, or if I should have do this. Understand?
Yeah, according to how you look at it, that in itself could be negative. You're
Yeah,
looking at the
and
that it didn't do.
right. So going through all that process, I turned to one of my teammates and we sit down and we probably analyze what's going on, say so and so. All right. and your mind will just get clearer on that's what you should have done, or probably just the day wasn't right to make that, you understand? And then further on you go to the coach and he would further break down what he saw, and that is how I clear up my try to clear up
So just to be clear, you know, one of the first things you do is try to ponder, or you think a lot about what went on, what things what do you think you try to highlight those stuff, right? What about the injuries, like that moment when the doctor or the physiotherapist tell you, hey, you had to wait 2 weeks, so you have to miss the rest of the season, or like, that moment when that happened, what was your initial response, and or what was your response throughout that period that you had to sit out?
Well, I would say I feel pain, but in a way that I know I can't do anything, because if I do something, it would make the situation worse.
When you say you can't do anything, what do you mean? Like, what do they want?
Like go there and train, do personal best, meet no goals, understand?
You know, that in itself
those
frustrating too.
Yeah. So, but I would just try to follow instructions. It's the hardest thing to do, but yeah. But for me, that is where all my thoughts, the negative thoughts come to life. Yeah.
You think you have more negative thoughts when you had the injury, or when you didn't achieve a goal? Which one you think you had more negative thoughts?
The injury.
Without talking to somebody else.
The injury. I would say the injury.
You think the injury had a more
the negative thoughts, was rapid. Yeah, because I say that because without achieving a goal, I am still fit or able to make a next attempt to do it.
Yeah.
You understand? Now the injury is a setback that I might not be able to come to the standard where I was. You understand? So I would say the injury. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, being an athlete myself, you know, I could relate to you in that the injury could have a heavy toll on your thoughts, you know. So I guess I'm seeing and where you're coming from in that aspect. All right, well, now Ayana will ask you some more questions pertaining to the situation at hand.
All right. So what I would like to do is, first I would like to talk about some positive stuff, highlight things that you have accomplished, things that you have done. So, we have some positives to work with against the negative. So tell me about some positive things that you have accomplished in your life.
Being able to represent the university on an international level, or regional level, I should say.
That's good. Yeah.
Well,
it could be anything. It don't necessarily have to be pertaining to sports. It could be anything that you think is positive in your life.
In my life, That's a real hard question, yes?
It could be
It
anything. It
doesn't
could
have
be that you love your mom. It could be like
Well, those things understood,
no, but
son.
we just want you to state positive things. We just want to be
Well,
positive. And,
each day, I mean, thankful for life. Well, that's a thing.
yeah,
Everyone
that's
positive, right?
yeah.
Have support despite all the challenges, right?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, those things, the little things.
That was it. But I want you to talk about it. I want you to talk. Whether it's about the roof over your head, the clothes on your back, the food that you eat. We just want to be positive. I'm hearing any kind of positivity from you right about now. You're
I,
talking.
you know, that could be another indicator. Well, another problem as to why he would have negative self-talk, because to talk about the negative things so easy, and when you ask him about
Yes, exactly
positive
my
things,
point. We
any
need to
positive,
have some kind of positive, any kind of positive.
yeah, it's so hard to highlight, something off the back that hey,
Mm.
it's positive.
Well, a lot of positive things happen, but I mean,
Right, and
you,
I need you
you
to
really
talk about the moment.
talk about it much, but alright. Um, as I said, just being able to enjoy the sports that I'm playing, that I'm doing, um, achieving goals bit by bit. Um,
Mm.
what else? That is basically it. That is what makes me want to do more. Yeah.
Okay, then. I realize that you're a bit negative, but that's what we're working on, right? So,
Or that is being negative.
no, well, when it is my partner was asking you about negative stuff that happened in the past, you seem to be able to talk about that rather easily. But when it is I'm asking you to be positive, then you're having a bit of difficulty finding positive things to talk about.
All right, fair enough.
You understand?
That's a problem.
Right. So I want to give you some tips on how to um spot when it is you're being negative and to change that very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing you would need to do is that you would need to be very aware of yourself. You need to realize before you get into like a really bad place, you need to like as soon as it starts, realize that you're being critical about yourself, that you're being negative about yourself. You need
Mm.
to catch that. You need to be able to catch that as soon as it starts. So, and as soon as you start thinking stuff like, I can't do this, or, any kind of negative comments about yourself, you need to be able to catch that and you need to put an end to it. So, that's the first thing you need to do. You need to develop some kind of self awareness. And then you also need to remember that okay, everything that you think and everything that you feel is not exactly the truth or not exactly the reality of things. So at the moment you may be feeling like, when you start feeling negative, you start feeling like nobody in the world care about you and it have nothing positive in the world. When you start dwelling in the negative, that is what has happened. It doesn't It's be hard for you to see the bright side of things. You understand what it is I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. So you need to understand that yes, that is how you're feeling and that is how you're thinking in the moment, but that doesn't necessarily make it a reality. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair enough.
right? And then that negative voice inside of yourself, you need to change that to something positive. And that is why I was asking you to think about positive things, because I guess at this point in time you're not having this negative self-talk within yourself. But if it is you were doing that, it would be extremely difficult for you to find positive things to talk about. You understand what it is I'm saying? So on a normal day, you need to be able to find positive things about yourself and positive things in your life in order for you to be able to have that when it comes a day when you're having this negative self-talk with yourself. You understand?
Yeah.
And also, what is another good tip with negative self-talk is if it is you have friends that you could share with a friend and let a friend know what is going on with you. So your friend could help find positive things to think about or help find positive things in your life that may help
Uh-huh.
you, not get to that place. Because as my partner said before, that negative self-talk could lead to a lot of long-term mental health issues, and you do not want to be dwelling in the negative,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah.
lastly, my last tip is that sometimes when it is that you're having this negative self-talk, because negative self-talk is within yourself, that is when you sit by yourself thinking you can't do this or you're not good enough at certain things. Sometimes saying it aloud helps you to hear how ridiculous that you sound, or helps you to hear that you're being negative, and maybe that could help you change your negative to a positive, if it is you understand what it is I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if it is maybe that you say it out loud, it could help change your bad to a good or your negative to a positive. Right? And that's a few tips for dealing with when it is you're in your negative mood. I would also like to introduce you to positive self-talk. And I know it's hard when it is you're accustomed doing a negative self-talk to just switch to positive self-talk. That is why I was thinking that we should do a self-talk grid. And what a self-talk grid is like a personal collection of information where you could look back to see what it is you have achieved in the past and how being positive helped you achieve that, and how the negativity didn't help at all. So it shows like, okay, for example, you run a marathon, you run a 5K, and during the 5K you just thought negative thoughts, right?
Mm.
it, the outcome of that 5K would be completely different to outcome of a 5K where it is you ran and you had positive thoughts where you thought you could do this, and if it is you finish this, how accomplished you would feel. And it would show that the outcome of having that positive mindset is better than the outcome of having a negative mindset. You understand how the grid works? And the grid would take the activity, um, the type of talk, whether positive or negative, and the outcome with your goal. Like if it is your goal is to, let's say, run a 5K in, how fast is run a 5K?
The PB. About 20 minutes, 19 minutes.
2019, I think it's 19.
Okay, 19. So you want to cut your 19 to, let's say, 17. If it is you have the activity, you have the positive, you have the negative, and you
That
have
is
this
not
goal.
That 5K alone
What?
is negative. That 5K alone is negative.
You see what I mean? No. If it is, you have a goal of running a 5K
Reason
in
being, reason being
17
is because of the distance. That's not
Well,
my
I mean,
specialty.
I think you
No,
use
you are just using it as an
I
example,
understand. I understand.
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
right?
I mean,
So you
I think
have
you use it as you put your mind towards anything in particular.
Mm,
right. So you would have the positive self-talk where it is you would say, I could do this, right? Just how
mm,
much ever
Right.
more miles to go or wherever and wherever. As long as you remain positive and you reach that goal or you ever reach the goal, it could happen either way. We're just saying that the outcome is you will be able to measure the outcome. So it was
yeah, yeah.
positive and you finished the 5K in, let's say, 18 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it would measure it against if it is the other day it was feeling negative. You have these
Mm,
they have the same goal. You want to run it in 17 minutes or however long, and you have the same goal. You would see the difference between when it is you're being positive and when it is you're being negative, and it would show you the difference, like how it is you perform differently when you approach the activity with a certain mindset.
mm,
That's not Ayana. Y- Um, using that same method, right? Um, I wanted to, I wanted
sorry.
to, when I know you said that you have, a good relationship with your friends and stuff, but I wanted to look at, one or two friends that you have within your club,
Mm,
and just for yourself examine or look at times where they might have negative self-talk. They might like engage in that negative self-talk. Know that you know what negative self-talk is and you can identify it.
mm,
Look at when they start doing this and watch or look at their performance, right? And now when you look at their performance when they actually have this negative self-talk, compare. Let's know that is how you will look. And if it is, something that you don't want for yourself, then don't do it to yourself, basically. And now that you know the information, or you could always spread it to your friend. Stuff like that.
that's on our way.
Yeah, well, she could continue now.
Okay, so
Check
I
upset
was
or
saying
something.
that the positive self-talk, um, the grid is more of a measurable way to show the difference between being positive and being negative. When like positive self-talk itself is like, okay, you have a goal, like I was saying before, you have a goal, you want to achieve, uh, let's say a 10 point in your 100. Okay, your positive self-talk would be words of encouragement, words that that would motivate you to continue reaching for that goal of your 10 points in your 100. So it will be like things like I can, I will, things to help you reinforce your motivation, help you like
Mm,
you could, you will. That is, I can, I will. That is the words you want to use, not I can't and it's too hard and stuff like that. So you need to be able to how to say motivate yourself, I guess. So it's like your like my partner was saying, you basically give yourself a pep talk. So you would sit with yourself and you would start thinking about motivational quotes and motivational not just motivational, sorry. You want to talk about not talk about think about positive. You want to think about things that you have done So it helps to motivate you to, be positive about the things that you want to achieve. You understand what it is I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if I lost you.
Nah, we clear.
Okay. So, um, let me see. Positive self-talk. hmm And
I honestly think once you understand how deeply it affects your performance, that in itself setting you setting it back. I think I was reading something that said from the time you think about, like from the time you start indulging negative self-talk, you already lose by 25% or something. So somewhere around that line. Which basically
oh,
say which basically saying that the moment you start to have this negative self-talk, that is you already lose. So basically you already lose the race 25% along the way.
not necessarily lose
Well,
the
not
race.
necessarily, but that's how
You will not
dread it is.
accomplish.
That's how dread it.
Yeah.
No, that's how dread it is. Like your mind has so much to do with your performance that the more negative thoughts that you put towards yourself, I mean, a simple thing to go about it is, if something, I say something bad happening around you, so you have a group of friends and they're doing something that they don't want, that you're not comfortable with. No, good sense will tell you to move away from the situation. Now, if you doing something bad to yourself and you understand how dread it is, then you would want to separate yourself from that, because of the effects that it could have. So when you understand how it affects you, you would know to try and stop it, basically.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, well, the way it's sport, at least at the end of the day, you want to have the best performance, or you want to know that despite whatever the result is, that you put your best foot forward. And if it is you did something and you might be okay with the results, but in the beginning you wasn't sure, you was doing that same negative self-talk, and you still do okay, that in itself is not putting the best foot forward because of the different theories that we put forward now. If it is you have a more positive look at the situation, chances are you might have performed 25% better than you already performed. So that's just my little advice towards your situation.
Yeah, so that is basically all it is I have to talk about. Just the tips and what it is positive self talk is about. But it's not just for we to talk about this and then for you to forget about it tomorrow. This is things that you need to constantly practice, not just only when you're in training. Is even when it is your home in your everyday life, you find that some people tend to be very negative throughout. So it wouldn't just be negative in one aspect of the life. It would be in all aspects. So even when it is your home and you find yourself thinking, I can't do this, you want to put into practice the tips that I have given you and also the positive self talk.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Success and everything, right?
Everything.
Wow, that is it.
Good vibes.